President Biden finally banning Russian oil as Putin's war machine ramps up attacks on Ukrainian civilians. Under bipartisan pressure, Biden announcing a stop to importing Russian energy. But instead of promising to produce more oil here at home, the president pointed the finger at everybody else and doubled down on going green.
I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production. The oil and gas industry has millions of acres leased. They have 9,000 permits to drill now. They could be drilling right now, yesterday, last week, last year. Loosening environmental regulations or pulling back clean energy investment won't, let me expand, will not lower energy prices for families. But transforming our economy to run on electric vehicles powered by clean energy, with tax credits to help American families winterize their homes and use less energy, that will help.
While President Biden focuses on that, Americans are getting crushed by surging gas prices. The cost per gallon hitting an all-time record of $4.17, with no signs of slowing down. And VP Kamala Harris doing not much better. Check out these tone-deaf comments while Americans suffer.
Imagine all the heavy-duty vehicles that keep our supply lines strong and allow our economy to grow. Imagine that they produced zero emissions. Well, you all imagined it. That's why we're here today. We are also announcing funding for, yes, one of my favorite topics, electric school buses.
It's like she's doing a reading at kindergarten, Dana. Get to her in a second, but I heard some grumblings from you when Biden was blaming energy companies for high prices.
Do you remember, this is the thing that drives me crazy. Do you remember when the Biden White House, I remember the day, it was on Fox News Sunday, and a White House senior advisor came on and said that it was actually Republicans who wanted to defund the police.
Right.
And I said, is he saying that with a straight face? Are they actually going to try to get away with that? And then they did for a couple of weeks, and then they dropped it because it's not true. I feel the same way about this energy issue as well. We were already seeing really high energy prices before Russia invaded Ukraine. So let's start there. And if you look over the past, you can find the quotes. We played one this morning of the Secretary of Energy laughing about high gas prices on November 3rd, saying, well, if I had a magic wand, boy, I'd love to do that. Over and over again, you can find administration officials who say, we're going to have to go through some pain in order for us to do what has to be done because the world's going to end in 10 years because of climate change. And they basically said that higher prices were the price that you were going to have to pay. The whole point about the leases, what bothers me is, permission to make an analogy?
Permission granted.
Imagine that you finance a car, okay? You get a new car, you finance the car, go through all the paperwork, you're so excited, but they won't give you the keys. That's what's happening here. And so they can say, well, what do you mean? You have all, you could go drill tomorrow. And it's like, but I don't have the keys.
You have the lease, but you don't have the permit.
That's exactly right. The other thing I would say is they have tried to get so much ink from the media, a sympathetic media, about how great they've been, about trying to get America off fossil fuels. And basically, they're outsourcing all of their carbon emissions to places like Saudi, Venezuela, Russia, et cetera. Final thing I'd like to say about this is when Kamala Harris says that just go buy a $60,000 electric vehicle, like what planet are they living on? It's like when she said that nobody saw the Omicron variant coming.
Right.
So why weren't they planning on any of these Russian sanctions on oil and gas before? Why did they have to be dragged kicking and screaming and wait for 76% of Americans to say, we are willing to pay higher prices if this is the price it's going to take? Why did they have to wait for their poll numbers to come in and say, oh, actually, this is going to happen? Why did you have to wait for Nancy Pelosi to say, no, we're doing this? And she was going forward even without them. So I think it's been a bad day on the energy front. However, it could lead to something better. And if we're pushing on an open door and we're going to allow more exploration in America, we should go for it.
We'd have to push pretty hard with these guys. But, Greg, we've been pushing the Russian oil import ban, and they caved. Maybe there's a chance if the pressure builds.
It's, 8% of our imports? That could easily be absorbed by drilling more, right? Or even like hitting up Canada for some more. But I love how Joe is framing this. This is a hardship that we must accept. He said, defending freedom comes at a cost. And that is not true. That is not, it's the environmental claptrap that comes as a cost. This is not about freedom. There would be no cost if we didn't demonize drilling, if we didn't shut down pipelines, if we didn't demonize fossil fuels. So it's not about defending Ukraine. It's about exposing the destructiveness of the green, I would say the green ideology, which is part of a larger ideology of punishment, right? Rich countries can handle this, just pay more gas. It's the poor countries that are going to suffer. And it's going to be poor people in the United States, right? So you have Twitter celebrities like George Takei and other losers who will say, you should pay more to support Ukraine, but they're not truckers, they're not salesmen, they're not Uber drivers. This is the same detached mentality that we found with shutdowns, right? It's like everybody could handle a shutdown if they were in the media, because all we did is we did our shows from our living rooms. And same people that tell us to live with it can live with anything. So that's either climate change, COVID, inflation. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. There's an ideology of punishment, and it's that you can handle the punishment, they're above it.
I saw some media today, Judge Jeanine, and they weren't clamoring for Biden to pass out more permits and leases. They were telling Americans, you just got to drive slower. Don't accelerate too fast. That's how you save on gas prices. Yeah, put on a sweater, right?
Yeah, well, they actually refer to it as Putin's price hike.
Oh, right.
Let's make the new enemy Putin, as if we didn't hate the guy enough already. But look, Biden started the war on energy long before Putin decided to invade Ukraine. And the trouble with this is, for anyone to believe that this is really about Russia and the Ukraine, that is to actually ignore the fact that for years this green left energy constituency has been trying to get us into electric cars. 1% of Americans have electric cars. I don't care how much Kamala wants to go up there and laugh and giggle and say, oh, imagine, I feel like I'm in the middle of a John Lennon song. And, I'm not going to drive an electric car right away. And we've got to get oil and gas from somewhere. We can do it in the United States. We already know that. And here's the thing that I think is most insulting to the American people. If you really think that the people who produce oil are not chomping at the bit, saying, oh, holy moly, it's $130 a barrel. I got to get myself into this business. I want to make some money. They can't even get a permit to make a road to get to the site where the lease takes them, let alone decide whether or not there's actually oil or gas, whether or not they can drill. I mean, it's just everything they're doing is anti-American energy.
You know the people better than most people, Geraldo. If you're making 50, 60 grand a year and you're filling up your car.
You're talking about rich people, oil people, what people?
I'm talking about regular Americans.
Oh,
that are
I know.
I
do more regular Americans.
If you're making, that much money and it's spending $100 to fill up your truck, how long can you wait for a windmill?
My fear, Jesse, is that we're burying the lead. The lead is no more Russian blood oil. That's the lead. So Russia has been hit now with the sanction. The only sanction that they truly feared was a cutoff of their only product. Russia, after all, is a first world army, third world country gas station. That's all it is. It produces oil and gas. So we've hurt them. We finally have hit them where it hurts. They are killing civilians. They have unleashed this massive refugee crisis. They have been destroying this poor country, Ukraine, on their border. I wanted to stick it to them, and I think the president finally has. ExxonMobil and Chevron, as you know, today announced that they are increasing production in the Permian Basin for exactly the reason, Judge Jeanine, that you suggest. They want to cash in. But I also think that we have to go with caution. These oil speculators are the wolves of Wall Street. Oh. These are the people that drove the price of a barrel of oil down to zero at a certain point because of their speculation.
Well, because there's a lot of pandemic. Wasn't that during the pandemic?
There's a lot of profiteering going on, is my point. Oh. And I think that if you just say it's all about Biden not drilling, you're missing some of the truth.
Are you serious?
I'm here to be unserious.
Sometimes.
You may think me unserious, but I am very serious.
Good news is McDonald's is pulling out of Russia, so no gas from them.
That's true. The Russians are going to get much more healthy and much skinnier now that that's happening.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.